welcome back to my channel. My name is Tuesday, this is the Crafty Cottage, and today we're playing another round of Time TBR. If you're new to my channel and you've never seen Time TBR before, it is my TBR game that helps me pick out my books that I'm going to be reading. I will link a playlist up here for you guys to check out. And down in the description box. If you have seen a Time TBR video in the past, you will know that I have been struggling a lot lately with keeping up with my reading and playing this game, but hopefully that will all change because my summer job is over, so I should have more time for reading, and I'm very, very excited about this because this month we're gonna be a little ambitious with our book reading. So somebody that I talk about on YouTube a lot is Jenny over at Prayers and Penguins, and recently she started playing her game seasonally. So she will have a TBR for the fall, a TBR for the winter, a TBR for the spring, and a TBR for the summer. And I think I might do that. I haven't really decided. So this TBR will either be for the month of September or it will be for the entirety of the fall. And I've also thought about doing more Craftea Chats. If you don't know what those are my vlogs that I started doing for a while and then they just kind of fell apart. But I would like to pick those back up. So if I do decide to do TBR for the fall, I will pick up Craftea Chats and be talking to you guys through those vlogs, and I will tell you about the other books that I'm adding throughout fall if I do decide to do that. So before I ramble on anymore, I do want to bring up my candle and my tea for today. My tea for today is another one made by my pen pal Lucy. It is English Witch Earl Grey. And as always, there is milk and honey on the inside, and it is delicious. And this video is not up yet, but it will be by the time this video is up. For my candle today, I'm actually gonna use this one that I made. So this one is Lavender Lemon. I decided this should be the first one that I try out, and it smells delicious. So without further ado, let me go ahead and light this candle, and we'll get directly into this video. So in the month of September, I am participating in 2 readathons, the first one being Bookopolothon from Becca in the Books. She does this every single year, and basically we just get to participate in playing her game that she plays every month. Becca's Bookopolothon runs from September 1st to September 30th. Midnight to midnight, depending on your time zone. She provides a board and you yourself make your own prompts kind of thing. So we will be doing that. I did play it last year if you saw it. If not, you will see it and it will make a lot more sense once I play it. The second readathon that I am doing this month is the Make Me Read readathon, hosted by Earl Grey Books, Helen's Bookhaven, and Pages with Paige. The one that I follow the most is Earl Grey Books. I will link that announcement video by her down in the description for you guys to check out. The Make Me Read readathon runs from September 17th to September 30th, which is about a 2-week period. Again, midnight to midnight in whatever time zone you're in. Basically what this readathon is I will pick however many books I want to read and basically put up polls. So then you guys will pick the books that I'm going to read. With that being said, this is a great opportunity for me to tell you guys that I did make a Twitter account. You can find me at Craftea Cottage. It is linked down in the description for you guys. This is probably primarily where I am going to put my polls. Usually I would put them on Instagram, but I am hardly ever on Instagram anymore. So I'm gonna give Twitter a shot. We will see how that goes, but that is where you'll find my polls, is on Twitter or maybe even Facebook, because I did also start a Craftea Cottage Facebook page. Again, link down in the description for you to check out. So the last time I played Time TBR was in June, and it's been a long while, technically the entirety of the summer, since I played, so let me tell you about the books. So in that video, I rolled 2 times and got 2 books. One of them was Fahrenheit 451. This fulfilled the prompt for dystopian, and I did finish this book. I gave it 3 stars on the story graph. It was interesting. When I first started the book, I felt like I was like breaking the rules because in this book, printed books are illegal to have and to read, but it is set in a far future where, like I said, books are illegal. I did read this book. It was kind of hard to read. I ended up audiobooking it because I was having troubles with it. But yes, I did finish this one. The second book that I got for Tea Time TBR was When I Woke Up, I Was a Hippopotamus, I believe. I will flash it up on the screen for you. I think I also gave that book 3 stars. It was just a cute little kid's book. A kid woke up as different animals and different objects depending on his mood, and it was cute. Along with the 2 books for Tea Time TBR from June, I did also listen to Fang by James Patterson, which is the 6th book in the Maximum Ride series, and I also listened to I Survived the Shark Attacks of 1916. So in a 3-month span, I read about 4 books. This is not including books that I had to read or articles that I had to read for school. This is just books that I read for fun. I did also read a couple books for the kids at my summer job, but I don't remember what they were at this point. There was a couple. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to be a little more ambitious with this round of Tea Time TBR, and it's probably going to turn into a fall section of Tea Time TBR. I will definitely let you guys know. But we are going to be rolling for Tea Time TBR 2 times, and then we are going to play 2 rolls of Becca's Bookopoly, or Bookopolothon. We'll see about the Make Me Read Readathon. I've thought about just picking 2 books for all of my rolls and then putting the poll up and then you guys picking. But we will see what comes up and how that will work at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's get into the first roll. Alright, so in June I finished here on this purple. So let's go ahead and do our 2 rolls. So here's roll number 1. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another purple. Pet picks. Alright, so for roll number 1, we got a purple prompt, which was pet picks. So I will insert in about the here area a video of Tyrion picking my books. Alright, so here are the 3 books that I have laid out for Tyrion to pick. We have The Silver Eyes, which is the first installment of the Five Nights at Freddy's series by Scott Cawthon. Malamander by Thomas Taylor, which I have attempted to read in the past and then just didn't. And The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon, which is the next installment of the Bone Season series. I'm actually really excited to read all 3 of these, so I wouldn't mind whichever one he decided to pick. So I've got some treats that I'm going to put on each of the books and see which one he gets. He's right over there, so maybe he'll come over and pick a book for me. So the treats are on there. Tyrion, come here. Has technically sniffed The Song Rising the most, so I'm gonna say that's it. Are you kidding me? Alright, Malamander it is, because he ate that treat first. Alright, there's our Tyrion pick. So you have just seen the clip where Tyrion picks my book, and after hovering for a long time over The Song Rising, he finally ate the treat off of Malamander. This book has been on my TBR before, but it was during a reading slump that I had recently, so this book is back on my TBR again, and hopefully I can get through it this time. It is a middle grade, so it should be a pretty quick read. Let's go ahead and get into roll number 2. Alright, roll number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we got a blue, All right, Magic Treehouse Night at the New Magicians. All right, so for roll number 2, I landed on a blue, which is a book that I own, and I drew the card that is Night of the New Magicians, which is a Magic Treehouse book by Mary Pope Osborne. It's a Magic Treehouse book. We follow Jack and Annie on some crazy adventure from the Magic Treehouse. Normally I would say that I would need to read the first book or the previous book in said series. However, because the same thing tends to happen in all these books, I'm gonna say that I don't need to do that this one time, mostly just for the sake of I don't have the other books, and this is like 32. But if it becomes a problem, I will let you know, and we will probably do another roll. So those are my 2 rolls for Tea Time TBR. Let's go ahead into roll number 1 for Becca's Bookopoly. Alright, so here is our first roll for Becca's Bookopoly or Bookopolothon. I decided to just play this on my iPad again so I didn't have to print out all of the stuff. So here is my piece that I usually play with in Tea Time TBR, and we'll put it on go. And then we are going to roll. Can you see that? I got 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dice roll roulette. Alright, so after looking at the rules for dice roll roulette, we need to roll the dice, and then the number that I rolled corresponds to a table that I will show you in just a second. Alright, so 9. So then we can go back here. 9 is between 425 pages and 474 pages. So we have to find a book that is within that gap. Alright, so for my first roll in Becca's Bookopolothon, I rolled a 10 and landed on dice roll roulette, which in order to do that, you have to roll the dice, and that corresponds to a table in the rule book, and you have to find a book between the number of pages. I rolled a 9, which was between 425 and 474. So I had to find a book that was in that range, and I am picking up The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've heard lots of good things about Victoria Schwab, and this book, I don't think I've been recommended this book per se, but I've heard lots of good things about it, and I picked this up from the library yesterday, and I was hoping to be able to fit the books that I got from there on this TBR, and this is how I'm going to get this one on here. Let's go ahead with roll number 2. Alright, here's roll number 2 on Becca's Bookopolothon. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Community shelf. Alright, so instead of making the chance and community shelf cards, I decided that I'm just going to use my versions of the same cards. So chance would have been the blue cards from my game, and community shelf is the prompts. So I landed on community shelf, so I'm just going to pick another prompt. Character uses a weapon. So for roll number 2 in Becca's Bookopolothon, I landed on community shelf, which is a prompt, and I just pulled a prompt out of my own prompt jar. And I got character has a weapon, and for this I am fitting yet another library book on this TBR. I am choosing The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I'm pretty sure Bilbo has some kind of weapon, so I'm putting this book on there. As for the books for the Make Me Read Readathon, I have chosen 4 options, which will be narrowed down to 2 books that I will read. So in total, I have 6 books on this TBR that I hope I can finish. So for the first round of the Make Me Read Readathon polls that I will be posting up on Twitter about the time that I post this video, for poll number 1, I will have The Silver Eyes by Scott Cawthon, the graphic novel. So this one is a graphic novel. It is the first installment of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, written by the guy who made Five Nights at Freddy's. And up against this one in the polls will be volume 1 of RWBY, which is a manga. I tried to put them against a similar book. So yeah, first poll is going to be these two books, and you guys will pick which one I read. And for the second poll, I have the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. This book I purchased recently-ish. I bought it before the summer, so I guess not recent enough, but I've heard that this is a great book, so I'm excited to get it if it is picked. And up against Screwtape Letters is The Silver Eyes, which is the first installment of the Five Nights at Freddy's series by Scott Cawthon. This is the same thing, it's just not the graphic novel, and the reason I have put both of these books up is because, if you can tell, they're not the same size. They are the same story, however, I feel like this one will have more oomph to it. So I'm slightly hoping that both of these books aren't picked, but if they are, cool, and it's not going to hurt my feelings. But for the second poll, it is going to be these two books up against each other for you guys to pick for me. So we have poll number 1, which is RWBY and The Silver Eyes graphic novel edition, or we have The Silver Eyes versus the Screwtape Letters, and these are for my Make Me Read Readathon polls. So on top of those 6 books that are picked for my TBR, I also went to the library and picked up a couple more. You've already seen this one, but it didn't get picked for anything. However, I do want to go ahead and get to it. I picked up the song Rising, which is the next installment of the Bone Season series. This is the 3rd book. I'm very, very excited to get to it because I have been waiting for this for a long time, but my library didn't have it, and they finally got it. I think I might be like the 2nd or 3rd person to check this out. Like, it is quite new and still very beautiful. So I got this, and I will hopefully be reading this. Also, it's not, if I don't finish it, it's not going to be penalized like the other book. So to go with the song Rising, I also picked up the next book after that, which is The Mask Falling. This is the 4th book, and if I finish the song Rising soon and I get to this book, I am going to be buddy reading it, hopefully with Ellie from RWBY Books. We will just see how that goes. This might be read coming up, and it might be a while before I get to it, but I also picked this one up. So now all of the rolls and picking of books is done, except for the poll picks for Make Me Read Readathon, which will be up about the same time as this video. So let's have a look at all of the books that may or may not be on this TBR. I haven't had a stack this big in a long time. It's huge. So to recap, I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and that fulfills my first roll for Bookopolothon, which was the dice roulette. That's what that one was for. Ooh. And then I have The Hobbit, which fulfills the community shelf, which is a prompt, which I pulled. The character has a weapon, so I picked The Hobbit. Malamander is pet picks. Tyrion picked this book out of 3. And then the next 4 are options for the Make Me Read Readathon, which I have The Silver Eyes graphic novel and RWBY are going to be up against each other, and then Silver Eyes and Screwtape Letters on the second poll. And then for my last book on top here, it is the Magic Treehouse Night of the New Magicians, which was just a blue card poll. And then on top of these, if I can read all these, I would like to get to the song Rising and The Mask Falling, but we'll see how that part goes. As far as the TBR goes, I just need to finish 6 books out of the stack. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I post again. And hopefully you will be hearing from me very, very soon. Bye!